Jai Hind, viewers. From MRO Digest Forums, we welcome you to another one of our panel discussions. The discussion topic today is Disruptive Technology and MRO Opportunities. We have a very eminent panel with us today. We have with us Lieutenant General TSA Narayanan, who has more than 40 years of experience in technology, education and training, research and development, and in MRO administration. As Commandant MCME, he organized a national seminar on AI for prescriptive maintenance. He also undertook large number of AI projects. He was the chief architect for demonstrating offensive swarm drone concept during Army Day 2021 in collaboration with a startup. He has given an excellent talk on our platform on rare earth elements in Indian context. Not to be missed talk, it is full of expert knowledge. He has given another talk on, he has been a part of a panel discussion for AI in MRO and also an MRO of drones. Each one of these panel discussions is a must for anybody who is in this field. We also have with us Major General Ranjit Ghosh, who served as the Additional Director General of Corps of Electronics and Mechanical Engineers. He is a postgraduate gold medalist from IIT Madras in maintenance engineering. He was Chief Managing Director of an Army base workshop dealing with A vehicles. At a strategy level, he steered life cycle engineering support for Army's capital acquisition and revenue procurements. General Ghosh has authored books on global defense industry. He has given a number of talks and panel discussions, participated on our platform. He has spoken on Make in India. He has spoken on sustain or replace equipment decision making and the ICE to EV transition. He has spoken on electric drives in armored fighting vehicles, MRO of drones, Indian MRO as a global service, storage, preservation and mothballing. And he has also spoken on best practices in L1 systems and AI in MRO. We also have with us Group Captain Ashok. Group Captain Ashok is an alumnus of NIT Rourkela, where he did mechanical engineering. He has a postgraduate degree in mechanical engineering from Pune University and an MBA in HR from Punjab University, Chandigarh. He has served in the Indian Air Force for 27 years and has served at PSUs and DPSUs as well. In the Indian Air Force, he was instrumental in induction of a major helicopter and UAVs. He has served at a base repair depot and has handled projects. He has been with corporates and has been consulting in aerospace and defense domain for companies in India and overseas. He had concluded greenfield projects to a closure in tactical communication and additive manufacturing technologies in DRDO, DPSUs, and private entities, both in industry and academia. He has been a member of our platform, one of the earlier members of our platform. And in fact, the very first webinar which we conducted on 9th November 2022 was not hosted literally. He was the main person who spoke on that webinar and it was received very well. The webinar was on 3D printing. So with that, I will be seeking the views of our panelists. Their initial thoughts on this topic of today, that is disruptive technology and MRO opportunities. We'll have request General Narayanan, then General Ghosh, and then Group Captain Ashok. General Narayanan, please.
Thank you, sir. Thanks for the introduction. Sir, I'm going to cover the disruptive technology. I have been doing some research for the last 2 years as I'm doing a PhD on disruptive technology as such. Now, what is disruptive technology? It's a sort of an innovation that radically transforms the way the business or the industry or the military will operate. A disruptive technology actually sweeps away the system or process which you already have, and it replaces it with a new one because certain attributes are there which are far superior. So when you come to MRO with the disruptive technology, so it's the application of this innovative technology in the maintenance and repair process. This will transform the MRO sector by improving the efficiency, reducing cost, and enhancing overall operational efficiency, I can call it. Now, what I'm going to speak on the disruptive technology which can be used in MRO are AI, that is artificial intelligence, Internet of Things, augmented reality, additive manufacturing, robotics, blockchain. Two topics which I'm not going to discuss is quantum computing is also considered as part of disruptive technology, and drones, because drones we had already covered before as a separate process. Now, coming to the first, that is the AI. Now, artificial intelligence and machine learning algorithms, they can analyze vast amount of data, which we know we have actually discussed all this from the data collected from sensors, historical maintenance record, and other source to predict what will be the failure. So by this, we can schedule the maintenance activities in advance and avoid costly, unplanned downtime. The best part of the AI is it can learn from data and refine its predictive capabilities over time. As more data gets collected and analyzed, the algorithm can become more accurate in predictive maintenance requirement and become more efficient. Similarly, the inventory management, the AI can optimize inventory management by analyzing the usage pattern through either through historical data and the usage pattern and the demand forecast, which we have been doing it. So these are the things where the AI as a part of disruptive technology and help in MRO. Now coming to IoT along with AI can do a lot of things. Now, which I talk about is sensors. The sensors could be Internet of Things. So it can enable, connected device and sensors to gather and transmit real-time data about equipment performance, condition, usage. These can be used for predictive maintenance, and they can identify potential issues. Condition monitoring is where another thing which IoT sensors can be deployed on equipment to collect real-time data on various parameters such as temperature, vibration, pressure, and other usage. This will give insight into the condition performance of equipment, by which you can detect early the potential threats or any abnormality which is going to come. Predictive maintenance, which is another thing which IoT sensors along with machine learning algorithm can be done to predict equipment failure and maintenance requirement. Best part of IoT is the remote monitoring and control. IoT will enable remote monitoring and control of equipment, allowing MRO teams to access real-time data and remotely manage the assets. The technician can monitor asset performance, diagnose issues remotely, and even perform certain maintenance tasks without physically being present. So this will reduce the travel cost, response time, and all. But the integration of IoT in MRO will require the deployment of IoT sensors, connectivity, infrastructure required for that, data analytic capability, and a robust cybersecurity mission. The third part is the augmented reality. I mean, it's a new field. It can provide remote assistance and guidance to technician by overlaying digital information and instruction and diagram into the field of view. Anyone who has looked into augmented reality will know that the smart glasses of AR-enabled smart glasses, it helps the technicians to share the field of view with experts who can then provide the step-by-step instruction, highlight relevant components, and annotate the relevant fields, video feed. The remote assistance reduces the need for on-site experts. So this will minimize the travel cost and accelerate problem resolution. Second issue with augmented reality is equipment visualization. It allows the technician to visualize equipment that are not physically present or difficult to access. Say they can use AR to see internal component of a machinery. So this will aid in troubleshooting, locating where are the faults, and understanding complex system without disassembling or accessing the equipment physically. Training and skill development is another area where AR augmented reality can be used for training purpose, where it provides an immersive experience for technicians. The AR simulations can replicate maintenance scenarios, allows technician to practice procedures in a virtual environment. Inventory management is another area. Asset identification is another area where AR can be used for tracking these by using QR codes. Coming to the 3D printing or additive manufacturing, we all know how it has revolutionized the MRO sector as such, where we can produce the spare parts on demand, so the lead time gets reduced, so you need not store excessive inventory. This technology ensures that complex component can be produced quickly, especially for legacy equipment where original parts may no longer be available. Another field which additive manufacturing is doing is rapid prototyping. Additive, it allows for quick production of prototypes and mockups. So this can aid in designing and testing new repair solution or optimizing existing process. Tools and fixtures. This, frequent MRO actually frequently rely on specialized tooling and fixtures for repair and maintenance tasks. Additive manufacturing can enable production of custom tooling and frequent with complex shapes, enhancing precision and efficiency. Component repairs. Additive manufacturing technique like laser cladding and directed energy disposition can be used to repair or modify damaged or worn out components. By adding material to the affected area, these techniques can extend the lifespan of a component. So you don't have to replace the component. Coming to robotics, as you all know, robotics can be used for inspection and monitoring as part of MRO. Robots can be deployed to conduct routine maintenance of equipment. These robots generally are equipped with sensors and cameras to capture data and images. So they will be able to identify defects, anomalies, wear and tear, those kind of things. Also, this robotic inspection, can reduce the requirement of human to be there, because the location could be hazardous or inaccessible area, and you can actually even capture these data. Wherever there is a repetitive and labor-intensive task, these robotics can perform in maintenance activity. Like they can be perform tasks as cleaning a surface, some painting, or repetitively some component has to be replaced. So these can all be done by robotics. And these robotics can be called also as cobots, which are called as the collaborative robots. They work along with the human to assist in maintenance and repair. They can handle heavy lifting, do some precise measurement, hold tool while technician performs the necessary task. So these cobots improve efficiency, reduce physical strain on the technician, and of course, improve the overall efficiency. Remote, where robotics can be utilized, remote control robots can allow the technician to perform maintenance tasks in remote or hazardous environment without physically being present. And these robots, as usual, will be equipped with cameras, sensors, and some manipulator arms or controlled arms, which can be controlled by a technician from a remote location. So this will provide the expert to provide real-time guidance and support. So this will reduce a lot of logistics requirement. The other thing is now blockchain. Now blockchain we have been talking about, and most of us know blockchain from only cryptocurrencies. But this blockchain can also be used in MRO in a big way. They can be used to create secure, transparent, and tamper-proof maintenance and repair records. It can also streamline supply chain management, track asset histories, and enable efficient verification of spare parts authenticity and maintenance procedure. In supply chain management, blockchain can provide a decentralized and immutable ledger. That is the best part of blockchain, that is they're immutable. That tracks and verifies the movements of parts from where it has gone. And throughout the MRO supply chain, by recording this transaction and so they created an audit trail. Blockchain ensures authenticity of spare parts. So you will not get a substantive or a counterfeit product. Similarly, the blockchain can do asset history and maintenance. It can serve as a secure and tamper-proof repository for recording asset histories, various maintenance records, and service logs. each maintenance activity or whatever repair we perform on an asset can be recorded on the blockchain, which will be immutable, and this will allow easy traceability of various maintenance action. Smart contracts is another beautiful thing which is there in blockchains. Smart contracts are basically, self-executing contracts which are predefined rules and conditions encoded into blockchain. But is you're writing in the blockchain software itself that at so and so date this preventive maintenance or this maintenance task to be performed, or such a warranty clause to be invoked. So these are the beautiful thing of a blockchain called smart contract. So they can automatically trigger maintenance tasks, monitor certain service level agreements, and including even payment is to be done for a predefined contract or a predefined task, that also can take place. Warranty and claim management can also be done using a blockchain. They can streamline this warranty management by recording the warranty information in the blockchain. So these are the things which can be done. Drones, we had already done before, basically for inspection, monitoring, inventory management, asset tracking, even maintenance support. Drones equipped with advanced sensors and cameras can assist maintenance technician by providing real-time visual feedback during repair or maintenance tasks. Like a drone can transmit video feed to an expert technician who can remotely guide on personal time. I mean, with on someone who's there on site personnel, he can offer the guidance to him. Drones can deliver tools and equipment remotely to a place, or a spare parts to a place which otherwise human will have to go where hardly they are reachable. So these are the basic disruptive technology which I thought very important for us to cover for doing an MRO, and these can be applied in any industry, in any organization, including military. That's all I have to say. Thank you.
Thank you very much, General Narayanan, because what you have covered a huge canvas of the possible disruptive technologies, and many of them seem to be reachable, and especially so that the opportunities are is full of opportunities, because that being the topic. So we will of course come to that again, back to that. May I now request General Ghosh to give his initial thoughts? General Ghosh, please.
Thank you, sir, and Jai Hind viewers. The subject is disruptive technologies and opportunities in MRO. So two parts. Firstly, disruptive technology. What do we understand by disruptive technology? I'll put it as a layman's term. Firstly, disruptive technology can be of two types. Firstly, it could be disrupting or displacing a particular technology which is in place. Secondly, it could be a new technology. However, every new technology or every radical technology in terms of technology per se or the technical viewpoint does not turn out to be disruptive. It could be an emerging technology which may or may not be disruptive. So we have to understand what is disruptive technology, because this is one part of the discussion. So disruptive technology, as I said, two types: displaces an incumbent technology or creates a new technology with a new capability. What is it going to displace, or how is it going to emerge? It will have to have certain attributes on which it will displace or capture the market as a new technology. Firstly, it should have certain key factors in terms of its performance, better enhanced performance, competitive price. It should be acceptable. It should be adoptable. It should be capable. By adding a new capability, it should be reliable. And many of these are a few which I have counted. So with these attributes coming in, a particular technology to disrupt the complete ecosystem. It could be a new independent technology coming in. It could be two disciplines giving a crossover technology. It could be delivering a capability which has never been seen before. It will also require certain market forces in terms of getting it. Firstly, it requires leadership. We are moving into MRO after this, where we are talking of industry 3.0 to 4.0 transition. So the leadership will push that digital transformation or the digital technologies or the disruptive technologies into the MRO field. So these are basically what, as a overview of our disruptive technology goes. It will add value, it will displace workforces, it will displace society, it will have an impact on economy and everything else. It will disrupt in a very huge manner. It will disrupt the value chains. It will disrupt the structures. That is what is a disruptive technology. It could take various forms. I'll not get into those. It has got a life cycle. Every technology has got a technology life cycle. So technology of yesterday, that is our industry 3.0, which I'll cover, to 4.0, will make way for 4.0 technologies. So technology having a life cycle, which is the S curve, in the evolving technology will be a routine S curve, but in a disruptive technology, there will be discontinuities within these S curves. Because a technology is always dynamic, it is always moving, it is having new technology, it is having technological improvement, technological application, technological refinements. So technology per se changes its form. And this is what has to be adapted, accepted. And that is why it goes through a life cycle, disruptive technology. It comes in as a theoretical study, goes into a proof of concept where you make it into or take it to the lab, take out a prototype, start getting the funding, let the technology mature, get into the niche markets, displace the markets, and thereafter you will reach a place where the disruptor will be disrupted by the next one. So it is basically a nascent technology to a developing technology, to a dominant technology, to a dying technology, and then the cycle goes on. So this is what is disruption. So disruptive technology of today may not be a disruptive technology of tomorrow. That is what has to be understood. And a disruptive technology of yesterday may continue. So the life cycle of the disruptive technology will vary from product to product, sector to sector, wherever is its applicability. That is as far as the first part goes. Second part is the MRO opportunities. Now, MRO opportunities does not mean in isolation. What is this MRO ecosystem we are talking about? The entire ecosystem has to be affected by this disruptive technology adoption. What is this ecosystem? It's a global marketplace of the MRO. This global marketplace includes the operator, which has got the equipment from the OEM. So the OEM, the operator, the maintainer, the supply chains, the repair centers, and the tasks which are being performed by the MRO. Each of these will have to adapt these disruptive technology as a ecosystem. That is where the leadership, the vision, the push, the digital transformation push is what is required. And as we see, as we read, the MRO sector has been at least 3 to 4 decades behind as far as adopting this disruptive technologies goes. It has more been in the domains of pharma, in the domains of health sector and others who have adapted it very fast. Whereas MRO sector is still traditional. We have just graduated from, we covered that earlier, so I'll not cover it, from breakdown maintenance to preventive maintenance to condition monitoring or trend monitoring. Sensors were there also, and then on to your predictive maintenance and the prescriptive maintenance is what we are looking at. And how has this happened? This whole thing has happened because you are graduating from digital 3.0. What was digital 3.0? We went in for automation. What is automation? Automation was digitizing everything. What were we digitizing? We are digitizing the entry, biometrics. We were digitizing the work order by putting it into data forms. We were digitizing the job cards. We were digitizing the signatures required by audit. So e-signatures came in. Now all these things gave a work order, which gave a task to the labor or the work technician. That tasking got again recorded. That from tasking, you know, what is his loading, what is his hours clocked, for civil parlance, the money to be paid to him. All this became digital. So this was digital 3.0, industry 3.0, maintenance 3.0, quality 3.0, whatever you call it. From here, you said, okay, this is one database. I have got the entire shop floor. Let it be a plant maintenance, let it be a workshop floor, let it be a manufacturing line, let it be a MRO line. Each of these have got various shop floors. It could be inventory, it could be ancillary, it could be cold ancillary, it could be your workflow, it could be your all aspects of the MRO chain, right from source to sink. Obsolescence has to be catered in this entire uh, talk of disruptive technologies and MRO opportunities. Where it fits in, how it is going, is what we are discussing today. We have graduated from Industry 3.0. We are graduating from Industry 3.0 to Industry 4.0. Digital to digitalization, automation to real-time monitoring and decision making. This is where the transition is happening. Now, how this is going to happen is we have to why it should happen. It involves cost. It involves operational efficiency. It involves the running costs. It involves profits. It involves downtime. So all these require us to incorporate the disruptive technology which is applicable to this context. There are hundreds of disruptive technologies in different sectors of the society. It could be food and beverages to maybe even your oceanography or any other place. But what is specific to MRO is what Gen Narayanan has already spelled out. Before going into each technology, I will just give an overview since it's an opening statement. Thereafter, what are we looking at? We are looking at these technologies which are going to aid us, which we'll discuss later, one by one. There are certain applications on mobiles which is helping us. There is certain cloud-based software. There is certain system-based softwares. There are certain, each is a module by itself. Each has been developed by different developers. Each is the machine into this complete MRO ecosystem, which has to be catered in terms of digital to digitalization. And that is how we are looking at. Who are being affected? It is right from the operator, line maintenance, maintainer, shop maintenance, inspection, monitoring, repair, scheduling, spare provisioning, supply chains. There are certain exports and others people here where there is, or the civil aviation where regulatory mechanisms are concerned. All these people have to be on the same net when you adopt the digital technologies as applicable to MRO into your MRO setup. And everything costs money. So the transition is restricted by the cost factor and the implementability factor, I will say, which is that sector which will take it on as far as MRO aspects are concerned. So this is how I look at this subject. I think we'll discuss more of it as we go by. Thank you, sir.
Thank you very much, General Ghosh. You have really spelled out the complete aspects of all how the technology comes in, how it matures, how it is impacting MRO. And, we got a very, very good overview of how possibly this will come about as time goes on. Now I'll request Group Captain Ashok, who actually has implemented projects on disruptive technology. I'm aware. We heard his, as I said, in a webinar, which I will request the viewers to go and have a look at it. So over to Group Captain Ashok for his initial views on this topic.
Very good evening once again to all the eminent panelists, General Narayanan and General Ghosh. They are super tanks of knowledge, wealth of knowledge, and the articulation on the subject has been very, very incisive and detailed. So I don't think I have much to add to the various types of disruptive technologies of the day. I've been working on additive manufacturing for last 6-7 years now, and I would also I can translate the same technology in terms of AI, robotics, VR, AR, blockchain, etc., etc. Now, from 3D printing or additive manufacturing, two things which I would like to emphasize after all that has been already spoken about is localized and distributed manufacture, which has been used by the Americans to support the Ukrainians. There's a project Diamond, where thousands of 3D printers in different geographies of the world which was through the cloud controlled, and the items of the need were manufactured. And thus you had mass production, which was to service the needs of the people at the war front. Number one. Localized manufacturing, that is on demand, on site manufacturing. So today you have got, they call it federal logistics, they call it operational logistics, where operational logistics team, to see that the disruptions of supply chain management are taken care of, they have a 3D printer at the site itself. So this is one. I won't go into much details because the eminent panelists have already emphasized on almost all facets of disruptive technology. I would like to look at Ukraine-Russian war. What are the imperatives drawn by especially the people in the forces and thereafter veterans? So what we have seen is that MRO services demand has increased multifolds. Now MRO of military equipment, that has increased in terms of communication equipment, in terms of weapons, in terms of land systems, in terms of aerial systems, in terms of marine systems, subsea systems. Like General Narayanan talked about drones. So drones, and then it has made a stellar role in causating various consequences of the war. Coming to demand for MRO industries. Now, what we have seen is that those who were involved in MRO function as an industry, they have gained tremendously. Their businesses have grown significantly. So what we have seen is that the various supply chain disruptions have been taken care of, I would say, by disruptive technologies, not alone 3D printing. Then you have different manufacturing advantages or disadvantages, both ways, which can be, settling your scores in the war front, that has adapted to the disruptive technologies. And I'm aware that hundreds of 3D printers have been delivered to the Ukrainian front. And then MRO is also these disruptive technologies are helping MRO in terms of training. What happens is, if you've seen Ukraine, they have had civilians who had scant or nil experience in military. They take up any arms or weapons and start fighting. So archaic weapons have to be maintained. Similarly, if you see at Russia, they have taken the services of their, what do we call, after we retire, we are termed as those who are still supposed to be giving service, reservists. So they are having the service of reservists, and then they are doing, recruiting and the recruiting of people who are being put into the war without much of training. So these disruptive technologies are helping them there. Next is a MRO of cybersecurity and information technology. This has become very, very predominant, and India being a country where we are quite good at it, it gives us a reason for us to have this MRO of IT, cybersecurity, communication, command and control, etc., that we must look into. With this, I would like to conclude. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much, Group Captain Ashok. You have taken examples focusing on the war in Europe and drawn from there. And of course, there are many opportunities which are coming there in that scenario because of its nature of war itself. So now I'll open this question to anybody in the panel. Now, from everything which we have heard, there is a very large gamut of technologies which are available. Now, if you look at our country, if you really look at go back into history, and you find that the Industrial Revolution, as they one, two, whatever, how as industrial revolutions kept rolling in, the countries which were able to benefit the maximum from that industrial revolution really became world power. There is a correlation between the how you were able to tap into that industrial revolution and how much of impact you could have on the world subsequent to that. So now we seem to be in a place where we are the people who are first movers in so many things, and which is a very happy state. And for example, our great success in UPI. Now, when I saw a headline article in one of the international magazines where they are saying, normally we use this soft power. So they are saying soft, in brackets they put where, and that's it power. So India's soft power, they're calling, and it's true. It is the world itself is getting up and seeing what we have done in UPI, and that is true disruption. If you look at a country of 1.4 billion people migrating to UPI in with such effectiveness, the whole world is now suddenly seeing us as the leaders and developed countries are looking at this system to adopt it or to connect to it. So coming back to our specific area of MRO, so that too, the question which I am now really putting to the very eminent panelists who have actually done work on the ground and who have done so much of rich research on this is that on the disruption index, we look at that, what is most disruptive, that is number one. Then we look at the fact that MRO is a human intensive aspect, because no matter how much the technology helps, eventually the spanner has to be in the hand of the technician, and he has to know where to put it, otherwise nothing will happen. So the HR we have world-class institutions which are ready to now go to really find a place in the globe. So how is it that we can mix these two up and look at what is the most disruptive technology which we can benefit our tremendous HR and deliver MRO services in all fields? I'm not looking at just war zone. War zone is very specific, very small part of it. Okay, what's happening? But actually, you look at the larger impact in all of industry. Where is it that we can really make an impact in the world itself and become disruptors? General Ghosh, please go ahead.
So there are two parts of your question. Firstly, which is the digital technology which is most disruptive to be utilized for MRO? One. Secondly, is the HR capable enough to accept this digital transformation or digital technologies? Thirdly, how this HR can contribute to the world global front in terms of the disruptions? Sir, what I could make out after the study of this subject is that there is a essential need to imbibe these disruptive technologies. Why? Because finally it is the profits to any organization which counts. So it is the value for money which has to come in. The erstwhile MRO, the traditional MRO of doing things, has paved way because just a simple example between condition monitoring and predictive prescriptive maintenance. Condition monitoring we did for 40 years. We were picking up behavioral patterns of bearing temperatures, oil temperatures, vibrations, sound levels, specific components, and we were coming on to giving a trend analysis of historical data and forecasting future, which was right or wrong, depending on what the history was, correct or wrong. The pattern of failures varied, the pattern of defects varied, the pattern of health checkups varied, the pattern of detection, isolation, rectification of the faults, and the MRO activities varied. Now, since you have to get value for money, you have to become efficient more and more in your methodology of doing things. For that is what is Industry 4.0. For that is what is disruptive technologies. And these disruptive technologies in the MRO front has to be accepted. It has to be accepted now or 2 years from now, 5 years from now, 10 years from now, the later you are going into this, you're going to be the loser in terms of profitability. You may become a market which will lose out in terms of its product. Because what is predictive maintenance or what is prescriptive maintenance is, it is the major difference is it is picking up real-time digital data, having a old record of past. It is not completely doing away with that historical record. It is keeping that historical record. It is having an initial performance indices of a particular component, sub-assembly, assembly, machine, system, and picking up those ideal health when a person is at full fitness shape 1, that type of a health of that machine or the system or the platform is being picked up. That is your baseline, or that is your historical data from all your operational or functional parameters on which that particular equipment per se has to perform. Based on that, now you are monitoring this with these sensors in real time. The number of sensors are going up, so more inputs are coming in. Data is getting voluminous, picking up from that particular machine in that system. From that sensor, that data is going in. You're collecting the data and putting it into one data storage center or a data storage software or a cloud or whatever you call it. In that place, once you've got all these data, you have now got certain analytical data, which is also you have analyzed and you have said that this is my graphical interface of this is how it is going to look like. And any displacements, deviations from that data in terms of the data coming in from the machine, from different points or service points, repair points, whatever you have, where you're tapping that sensory data, that displacement from the normal course tells you that your function is not correct, tells you that your process is not correct, tells you that your product is not going to be ideal to what your quality standards are, tells you there is an impending problem coming in. So this whole thing is going to give you profits in terms of the quality of the product, in terms of the number of the products, in terms of the efficiency being built in terms of the MRO activities getting pre-planned, in terms of your impending failure coming in terms of your downtime going down, in terms of your turnaround time of repair, mean time to repair, mean time to between failures, mean time between overalls, everything coming down. With all these things coming down, it is only going to add to efficiency. It is only going to decrease operational on maintenance cost and add to the profits of that organization. So the dividends are outbalancing the resource or the input financial outlays which are going in. So it's just a matter of time when we have to accept it. The HR will get trained. Yes, HR will get displaced to a certain extent because you will have capability of each of these technologies as we go by. Now that we have come on to this subject, you start with additive manufacturing. What is it giving you? It is giving you an object in three-dimensional view through a computer-aided design, churning out a 3D printer, giving out that particular component in actual correct dimensions in the mass manufacturing, in terms of bringing down the cost, in terms of saving the material. You do not do subtractive manufacturing in terms of milling or chopping or drilling and all these things. So you're not wasting. With no waste, you are saving on, if it's a very high cost titanium or some item, you are saving that much of cost. Finally, it is profits. That is 3D. Then you come on to the next one. What is it? It's artificial intelligence. What is it doing? It is the human intelligence is being seen by the machine, by that computer, by that. What is it doing? There are certain softwares which are pushing that machine to think like a human being and start performing all the tasks. What a human can do may not be 100%, but anything repetitive, whatever has been given as a program, as an alcohol, he's trying to repeat it. And in the process, he's making it faster, he's making it cheaper, he's displacing the labor shortage and he's displacing the skill shortage. So that is your AI. It is augmented by machine learning or by neural net, all that is further refinements, which will keep the technologies have to further refine because they have to optimize themselves to give an optimized system of disruptive technology supporting MRO. You come on to the next one, which is maybe augmented reality. You started with a one-dimensional virtual reality, you went into a two-dimensional, into a three-dimensional, line scanning, area scanning, into picking up your patterns, a vehicle moving, self-driving vehicle, picking up your cameras, very high processing, high resolution cameras, picking up what is ahead, detecting any obstacles, detecting any flaw, detecting any defects, and so on, and the applications can be. That is as far as your additive manufacturing, AI, and augmented reality. Goes on to mixed reality and all, where robots and all are getting programmed with mixed reality, where he is able to have he is programmed to perform the particular function. It could be a autonomous vehicle, it could be autonomous robot. China, as we have seen, billions is gone into 10 million, going up to 14 million by 2030, highest number of industrial robots. Why? Because he is displacing that labor. He is going for more accuracy, more precision. That is robotics. That is autonomous vehicle. That is autonomous drone. What is that drone doing? It is going well before time, reaching that particular area, carrying out the inspection, coming back, going into remote areas. The robot goes into with a camera into a remote area, which the human is not able to go get into minute flaws. Minute. We all have studied surface propagation of cracks in our degree engineering and all. That is how what is being picked up at the is nipping the bud. Initially itself, this is what is the aiding of the disruptive technology. You come on to you come on to now your cloud. What is this cloud doing? It is picking up all the data from all the sources, putting it into one place, collecting it, collating it, storing it, analyzing it, comparing it, and accessing it from remote locations. So you have remote diagnostic, remote inspection, remote training, remote everything remote. It is what this particular system is giving you. You come on to blockchains. How blockchain, Bitcoin, start point. But what is it? It has got an independent digital record. It is, you're putting a transaction, it records across the globe on the global network, which is depending on this particular block. One entry comes in, it is sacrosanct entry. It can't be removed. So there is no tampering, there is no corruption, there is no deviation from procedure, there is transparency, there is seeing through the thing. You can trace it, where did it start from. It starts a blockchain where a particular block gives you certain inputs of the MRO domain. You start another block for the spares. The spare has gone in, so you have traceability of that spare. Where did it come from the source? Where did it get into the component? Where did it get into the system? Where did it perform? Did it perform its intended life? Did it go out? Do I go for a second spare? Do I get a spurious spare? No, I go back to the original chap. All that is recorded in my blockchain. So this is what is blockchain technology. Then you come on to the next one, big data. Data is plenty. The more the data, the more better it is. So it becomes big data, and you start analyzing it. So big data analytics. You start analyzing that data to get more sensors, so more input, more refinement of the process, more refinement of the product, and a better product, a marketable product, a competitive product, a quality product, a reliable product to displace and disrupt the workforce, the society, the economy, and give all these comprehensive national power and all what we are talking. Thereafter, you get into the next. What is it? Internet of Things. The Internet of Things is putting everything onto the internet. How? So you have that mobile. That Capt says, okay, that mobile has got different modules. He's got a customer support module. I call him up. I've got this problem. Okay, look at this. I've got this problem. Okay, look at this. I want to place an order. Please place it. Now, everything is having a customer support module. You have an inventory support module right from the start point and the end. You have, so all these are modules being developed as apps, and mobile is everyone is carrying it. So it is the easiest for diagnosis. It is the easiest for MRO applications. So this also has to come in. Then you come on to other types of technologies which we have. I've already covered UAVs. Who else is left? I think Narayanan had covered most of them. Drones. We have already said what is the advantage of this drone. Then there is something called digital twinning. Now, digital twinning is the most advanced. It is the most disrupted. I will call it the degree, as you are calling the most disruptive technology was your question. I think digital twinning is the most disruptive technology. What is it? It is making a twin digitally. Digitally means it is making a virtual twin, virtual replica of a particular object. And then it is subjecting it to very high simulation softwares to generate in real time what it will be. Now you say, okay, this is my pattern of operation of this particular machine. So it has generated it. Now it is deviated from that. It will start pinpointing. The digital twin will do the job of the human being. Maybe nascent, maybe conceptual, maybe still evolving, but that is the most disruptive of the disruptive technologies which will come in. So that is called digital twinning. Thereafter, you have some more, I think, I don't remember now, which are the other technologies which can, each one has got its, not all of them, there are thousands of disruptive technologies, but there are about 10, 12, 14 of them which actually fit into our scheme of things. You have simulation modelings, which are also helping in your MRO business. So the plethora of disruptive technologies are only going to increase efficiency, decrease turnaround times, decrease downtimes, increase availability, and the whole system has to work. It is a complete ecosystem which has to get onto a digital transformation. This is the digital transformation arena in which MRO is way, way behind. And we have to get in, it's a matter of time. How we will contribute to the global requirements in terms of the digital transformation? I think we are the leaders, as you have always brought out, sir, that IT has been our forte, and we will surely transgress into this domain the fastest vis-a-vis the rest of the world. Though China and others, maybe China, US can be two exceptions, but it's a matter of time. And we have and it's going to be entire everyone's effort. It has to be, I said, it is the OEM's effort, it is the MRO service provider's effort, it is the logistic chain's effort, it is the your regulatory mechanism's effort. All people have to make this manufacturing or the MRO ecosystem to perform to its optimum to deliver what we are looking at as term of becoming a 5 trillion and as far as the economy goes. So that is how I would answer this question.
Thank you very much, General Ghosh, for giving out the various technologies again and how the MRO fits in and what are the opportunities we have. General Narayanan, you had your hand up. Please go ahead. Say what you have to say.
Sir, I just want to say, actually, General Ghosh has been very elaborate and has covered most of the things. But I want to say, the relevance of disruptive technology in MRO in India. I just want to say, where are we? No, in India, if you look at it, first of all, India has been the superhero or the boss of IT industry as such. We have been pioneer. So all the disruptive technology requires software. Most of the disruptive technology for analyzing anything requires software. So when it comes to developing software for disruptive technologies, any could be AI, could be anything, you require software, which we are capable of doing. So that is one thing which, if you had seen YVR Retd Vijay's Suzlon model, when he explained, 2-3 things he said, sir. One is his data analytics capability, where they use some sort of AI and they were able to do it. And they were able to remotely diagnose their windmills and find out what are the faults. Secondly, this power companies are using drones to check where are the biggest problem with power companies is they have short because some place get heated up. Now, how do you check where, people used to physically go through those power lines and, check where is the heating point in the night, because it used to, burn and show. So now they are using drones with a thermal imaging camera to look at the complete power lines and see whether, the imaging. Now, to see those imaging, you require software where we are capable. So when it comes to the MRO, use of disruptive technology in MRO, in the civil sector of India, it is there. When it comes to the military, we are much behind. We have not started using in a big way, or in a sort of, we are just taking baby steps. We're not done much. So what I want to say is that, yes, disruptive technology of use in MRO in India is there, and we are not far behind. That's all I want to say.
Thank you very much. Go ahead, Group Captain Ashok. You want to say something?
Right, sir. So I just wanted to give a simple example of disruptive technology. Most of us have to do tackle obsolescence management, and we cannot wish it away in any case. So one of the organizations, it's a huge organization, when we started talking to them, just about a month back, they had given an order of about 15 crores to a company to make 2D drawing of the components, which the OEM in any case had never, provided for. And they were unable to do it, and they were quite unsatisfied. They said that despite the huge contract being drawn, the success of getting a 2D drawing is very, very scant. When we reached them, we said that we can solve your problem in a jiffy. They said, how would you do that? So all of you would agree that a 3D scanner today with 12 megapixel resolution can be an answer. And the accuracies can be as good as the original, or maybe at times better than the part you have given, because the parts are already used and therefore they are worn out. So you have got reverse engineering software which can produce a 2D drawing and a 3D drawing, and you have a CAD file. So a simple stuff like that would resolve. And this is a problem not only with the civil sector, it is a problem with the defense sector as well.
Thank you very much, Group Captain Ashok. So now, with that, I will now come to the final part of this particular panel discussion, where I'm going to make it a little difficult for you by asking this question that from an MRO focus and not a defense focus only, we look at all the complete country, because you see there's a lot of interplay in MRO from non-defense and all that, but there are so many opportunities and we are aware of them. So from that point of view, I'm going to request only one, most out of everything which you know, because you carry so much of knowledge, you have studied this subject. What is you think is the most effective, where we'll get the maximum gain, if you were to pick one technology from MRO point of view, which we should really have a large focus on, not the complete focus, but the largest possible focus on. So that is my question. And now we will take it around the other way around. I will request first Group Captain Ashok, then General Ghosh, and then General Narayanan. And all of you just also give your concluding remarks, because after this we will bring the panel to a close. So go ahead, Group Captain Ashok.
Sir, if that has to be just one attribute, then I would say that we need to focus, learn and unlearn, learn and reskill ourselves into information technology MRO, which is a huge, humongous vertical in itself, because we have millions of people trained and well skilled with global acceptability and benchmark. So that is one place where we can take the MRO not only for our soil, but from our soil to across the globe. Reason is we have got one resource which we are champions, and that is human resource. So the number of people we have, this is one way where we can populate these with this kind of skills across the globe, starting with developing nations to developed nations. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Group Captain Ashok, because you have linked with the technology, and you've linked it with our main resource, and if they are properly, maybe we are able to achieve it, then this can become not only a huge benefit for us, but actually become a disruptive ability, I would say, technological ability worldwide, from our soil. So thank you for that input. General Ghosh, please.
Sir, I'll first clarify two issues. As far as armed forces are concerned, I think we have also made may not be that significant a headway in MRO adopting disruptive technologies, but there have been in spurts what is going on. Like all your space management packages, be it your EMMS in the Air Force, which was combining the basically the spares and tools and facilities and resources together, which was spoken of by the chief recently. as well as your EMOLs are all towards certain amount of MRO integration of technologies, be it IT, be it spares package, inventory management, whatever it is. So there is some headway. We also have our packages of for the army, which is coming, as well as the navy. So that is one point. Second is, what is critical is, as Gen Narayanan brought out, it is the software development which is critical. IT, yes, as Ashok brought out, IT MRO is a criticality today because we have the prowess, so we should be able to tackle it. That is one part. But as Gen Narayanan brought out, each part of this disruptive technology into MRO requires each to be driven by softwares, and that software development process and the software integrity and privacy and all cyber security and all is going to get critical in the whole range. So it has to look at the entire model in terms of right from your sensors, refinement of sensor technology, to the data transfer taking place through the communication pathways, or what is the system of going into the cloud, how that cloud is operating, what is the software to drive it, is it a system software, is it a cloud software, how to refine that particular thing in terms of software development. So each of these parts then coming back to the picking up the historical data, making those algorithms for the predictive analytics, and then the comparison, and then putting onto the digital displays or raising the alarms. All those things, each has got a technology by itself which has to refine over the years. That is one. Second is, what will maximize the gains? What I look at it is, firstly, adopt prescriptive maintenance at the earliest, is the first step. Going for digital twinning is the second stage. And ideal, of course, we all know is design out maintenance, which if the Make in India effort is on, then it has to get ingrained at the manufacturing stage. So the database is generated right from day one. So all these IT prowess and all comes into your Make in India effort. If your Make in India moves in this direction of imbibing Industry 4.0, your quality comes in, your exports come in, your economy comes up, everything comes. So this is how I see the course of progress as far as imbibing of the digital transformation arena in the MRO sector is concerned. Thanks.
Thank you very much, General Ghosh, for that those insights. General Narayanan, you, along with your response to what I had requested, I would also request you to also sort of sum up what we have talked today, and give your concluding remarks for today's panel discussion. General Narayanan, please.
Sir, your point regarding which is the most important disruptive technology for MRO. I mean, I feel there are two important technologies, disruptive technology for MRO. The important ones are, first is artificial intelligence, and second is 3D printing or additive manufacturing. We all know what all AI can do. It can do a lot of analysis of large amount of data, but most important is it will stop a failure. It will predict your failure. So that is the biggest advantage of AI. Whereas when it comes to additive manufacturing, actually that is something which every maintenance technicians would like to have in his backyard. He had the knowledge, he had the circuit diagram. What was missing was the spare parts. So if he had an additive manufacturing in his backyard, he would have made those spare parts and he would have put the equipment on road. But if I have to weigh between these two, I will still say AI, I'll give more marks to AI. Why? Because it will tell me, first of all, if failure is going to take place. It will tell me what I have to do to prevent this failure. It will tell me large number of things for even stocking of spares and everything. So I will put AI as the prominent subject for MRO, sir. Today evening, we have discussed a lot on the technology, disruptive technology, which were required for MRO. We discussed where General Ghosh came out with large number of issues which were covered, and I had said which all technology is going to be there. Then Group Captain Ashok Singh spoke about the Ukraine war. I mean, he put it in the context of Ukraine-Russian war, how it has been achieved. But overall, if you look at it in our discussion, yes, as a country, we are not far behind in using disruptive technology for MRO purpose. But maybe as a military, we have to catch up. That's all I want to say. Thank you.
Thank you very much, General Narayanan. Now, viewers, on behalf of all of you, I would like to thank our panelists for sharing their wisdom, the depth of knowledge which they possess, actual work which they have done on ground, and correlating it so much with our current capacities and capabilities, and telling us, guiding us as to how possibly we can forge ahead as world leaders in using disruptive technologies in MRO. With that, we come to an end to yet another very insightful panel discussion from the members of MRO Digest Forums. And I would look forward to welcoming our viewers to our future panel discussions. Thank you for being with us today. Jai Hind.